Camilla went from being one of the most disliked figures to the Queen of the UK. But did you know that only 14% of Brits actually support her being called Queen? The British royal family has had its fair share of drama and rivalries. But one feud that doesn't get much attention is the rumored tension between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. If you think about it, Camilla's journey into the royal family was pretty unusual. Many people believe that Anne's dislike for Camilla runs deep, tied to a past filled with scandal that still affects the monarchy today. You see, Camilla had an affair with King Charles while he was still married to Princess Diana. For Princess Anne, who values family and tradition above all else, this kind of interference in royal matters was just unacceptable. But what's really behind Anne's feelings? Why does she hold such strong animosity towards Camilla? Let's dig a little deeper and explore this complicated relationship to figure out why Princess Anne might feel this way. Now, let's talk more about Princess Anne herself. She's the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, and she's known for her hard work and loyalty. Ever since she was young, Anne has put her royal duties front and center, showing dedication and a really strong work ethic that's similar to her mother's. In fact, she's carried out more royal engagements than anyone else in her family, earning herself the nickname of the hardest working royal. Even with all that effort, she remains pretty private. Unlike other royals who love being in the spotlight, Anne keeps her personal life under wraps, avoiding the media and rarely giving interviews. She believes that her work is a duty, not a chance for fame. This really sets her apart from the younger royals who are more into modern trends in the public eye. Anne's traditional values make her a unique figure in the royal family, sticking to the old ways and standing firm in her beliefs about what it means to be royal. So, what do you think? Could this be a big part of why she feels the way she does about Camilla? Princess Anne holds strong views shaped by her mother, Queen Elizabeth, who believed royal duty was a lifelong promise. She thinks loyalty to family and the monarchy is everything, and has a clear idea of what being royal means. For Anne, it's all about honor, discipline, and sticking to royal traditions. This rigid attitude spills over into how she deals with those who marry into the family, especially if they come with a bit of baggage. Does she have a soft spot for those who might tarnish the family's reputation? Not a chance. Take Camilla Parker Bowles, for example. Anne's opinion of her is pretty harsh because she sees Camilla's past with Charles during his marriage to Diana as a big no-no. To Anne, that's not just a personal dislike. It's about protecting the monarchy's image, something she's been dedicated to her whole life. Camilla, in her eyes, threatens the dignity of the crown, which is something Anne's always defended. Now, let's dive into Camilla's story because it's pretty interesting. She's had a complicated journey in the royal scene, especially her early connection with Charles. It all started back in the early 70s when they first met, and you could say the spark was instantly there. They hit it off quickly, but because of royal expectations and family pressure, they had to part ways in 1973 when Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles. That seemed like the end of things, right? Not quite. Even after Charles tied the knot with Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, Camilla was still very much a part of his life. Charles had a tough time in his marriage, and guess who he turned to for comfort? Yep, Camilla. Their relationship rekindled despite all the rumors and public scrutiny. By the 80s, people were starting to talk, and eventually it all blew up in the early 90s when the affair became public. Can you imagine the scandal? It rocked the nation and put a huge spotlight on their lives. So, what does all this mean for Anne and her view of the royal family? Well, it shows just how serious she is about keeping the monarchy's image intact while dealing with the complications that come with marriage and loyalty. The drama continues to unfold, and it makes you wonder how they'll navigate future challenges together. When it comes to the monarchy, Camilla often gets painted as the woman who messed things up for Charles and Diana. She really took the brunt of the blame in the media, being seen as the villain who betrayed Diana, and by extension, the whole country that loved her. This scandal didn't just shake things up for Charles and Diana. It sent shockwaves through the entire royal family. Camilla's connection with Charles turned into a hot-button issue, and people's views of her completely changed because of it. For Princess Anne, this was a huge deal. Camilla's role felt like a threat to family values and a direct challenge to the sacred idea of marriage, which Anne held really dear. She saw Camilla's actions as selfish, not really respecting the royal family's stability. The fallout from the affair left a huge mark on Camilla's reputation within the family that just couldn't be easily repaired. Even though Charles and Camilla ended up getting married, the memories of that scandal still haunt Anne. For her, Camilla's past serves as a constant reminder of the hurt caused to Diana and the damage the affair did to the royal family. Today, Anne still sees Camilla as someone who brought a lot of chaos and drama to the monarchy, and that's something she can't seem to shake off when thinking about her sister-in-law. It's like the label of being the other woman sticks to Camilla, and Anne isn't about to overlook it. Anne's loyalty to Diana's memory plays a big role in how she views Camilla. The whole affair not only made the royal family look bad, but also felt like a real betrayal to someone as wonderful as Diana. This gives Anne even more reason to disapprove of Camilla being part of the royal family. Diana was known for her kindness and how she connected with the public, and Anne really respected that. For Anne, Diana will always have a special place in the royal family. No matter their differences, she admired how devoted Diana was to her kids, Prince William and Prince Harry. Diana brought a warmth to the monarchy that Anne recognized as vital for bridging the gap between the royal family and the public. Can you imagine how different things might have been if that scandal had never happened? Princess Diana's tragic death in 1997 really cemented her status as a cherished figure, leaving a lasting impact on how people view the royal family. But things got tricky when Camilla entered the picture. For Anne, Camilla represents a painful chapter in Diana's life, especially since she was involved in the scandal that shook Diana's marriage. Anne clearly stands by Diana's memory, which shows in the way she interacts with Camilla. Every meeting is a reminder of the heartache that Camilla brought into both Diana's life and the royal family. Diana's legacy looms large, and Anne feels Camilla just can't measure up to what Diana represented. This connection to Diana makes Camilla's role as queen consort feel all wrong for Anne. While Camilla has seen a rise in public popularity over the years, Anne's quiet loyalty to Diana keeps her from truly accepting Camilla. Diana's memory isn't just a part of history. It influences how the entire royal family is viewed and what people expect from them, making Anne's commitment to her sister-in-law's legacy stronger than ever. It's all about old school versus new school, and Anne and Camilla are pretty different in more than just family drama. Their personalities don't exactly match up. Princess Anne is the epitome of royal tradition. People often say she's a woman of duty, closely resembling her mother, Queen Elizabeth. She values keeping things in order and following protocol. Known for her hard work and straightforward attitude, Anne takes on more royal engagements each year than almost anyone else. She's all about simplicity, avoids luxury, and rarely gives interviews. Her life has been shaped by the values of tradition and a strict way of behaving. On the flip side, Camilla has brought a more modern, friendly, and even funny vibe into the royal family since she married Charles. She's used her role to shine a light on important issues like literacy and domestic abuse prevention. However, her casual style and comfort with the press clash with Anne's preference for privacy and tradition. While Camilla's approachable demeanor works to win over the public, for Anne it strays too far from the royal standards she values. Do these stark differences mean there's no common ground between the two? Will Anne ever truly accept Camilla, or will Diana's legacy forever alter their relationship? These intriguing dynamics certainly keep everyone talking. You know, there's this interesting tension between Anne and Camilla when it comes to what being part of the royal family really means. Anne has this traditional view of monarchy that values respect for the institution and believes in keeping things a bit private. On the other hand, Camilla seems to have a more laid-back style, which makes her fit into a more modern royal image. But here's the twist: Anne isn't too fond of that. In fact, she has been overheard saying some pretty harsh things about Camilla during private chats. Anne feels like Camilla's casual approach kind of waters down the importance and authority the monarchy has worked so hard to build. It's a real clash of ideas on what the royal family should stand for, and that definitely adds to the frustration Anne feels toward Camilla. Anne's strong sense of loyalty to her family and its traditions is something that runs deep for her. It's not just about being there for her family. It's also about sticking to the royal values that have been passed down for generations. From a young age, Anne learned to value a dignified image and to carry on her mother, Queen Elizabeth's legacy. Unlike some of her siblings, she usually doesn't rock the boat when it comes to royal customs. which makes her one of the most respected and traditional figures in the family. But then you have Camilla, whose own history and presence often clash with how Anne believes loyalty should look. To Anne, family values mean being dedicated and willing to put the crown before personal interests, something that she thinks Camilla didn't respect during her relationship with Charles while he was still married to Diana. In Anne's eyes, Camilla's actions challenge everything she stands for, making it hard for them to get along. You can really feel the weight of that tension, especially when Anne shows some disapproval at royal events. It's like a clear statement that she finds Camilla completely at odds with what she thinks the family should represent. For Anne, her loyalty isn't just about her own kin. It's about the entire institution of the monarchy, too. She sees herself as a protector of the monarchy's dignity and feels that Camilla's past actions have put that at risk. This whole dynamic, of course, stems from the affair that ripped through the royal family. It didn't just hurt Charles and Diana's marriage, it also created a big rift in the family. Can you imagine the full impact of that kind of situation? It's a complicated web of loyalty, duty, and personal feelings that makes for a pretty intense family drama. The royal family has faced some pretty big challenges that still affect them today. When Charles and Camilla's relationship became known, it created a huge scandal for everyone involved. This wasn't just a private issue between Charles and Diana. It brought a lot of criticism towards the monarchy and forced family members to deal with some tough truths. Take Princess Anne, for example. She found herself in a tricky spot. On one hand, she wanted to support her brother Charles. But on the other hand, she felt really sorry for Diana and was upset about how Charles's affair hurt the family. Diana's emotional interviews laid bare the pain she suffered during her marriage, and that really struck a chord with Anne. The news about Charles and Camilla shattered the image of a united and respectable family, leaving Anne feeling let down by how they strayed from the royal family's values. For Anne, this whole situation hit close to home as she often felt torn between sticking by her family and wanting to uphold the dignity of the monarchy. Even after Charles and Camilla tied the knot in 2005, Anne's feelings about the affair didn't just vanish. She believed the scandal had seriously damaged their family's bond, and she remained skeptical about Camilla's influence over Charles because it felt like their relationship went against the royal family's image. As Camilla moved from being seen as the other woman to becoming queen consort, it represented a major shift in royal traditions. When they got married, Camilla chose the title Duchess of Cornwall on purpose to avoid stepping on Diana's legacy. For a long while, she kept a low profile, focusing on charity work and trying to change how people viewed her. But as she took on more royal duties, she got closer to being recognized as queen consort. A change that didn't sit well with some of the more traditional family members, especially Princess Anne. Anne's discomfort with Camilla's rise reflects her strong sense of loyalty to royal traditions. It makes you wonder, how do the other royal family members feel about this evolving dynamic? What does it say about the future of the monarchy? This ongoing tension shows just how complicated family ties can be, especially in the spotlight. Anne has always held strong beliefs about royal values, and to her, the title of queen consort for Camilla comes with the need for public acceptance and a clean record. She believes this was something her mother, Queen Elizabeth, represented so well. But let's be honest, how does Anne see Camilla, especially given her past with Charles and Diana? For Anne, that history isn't just a glitch. It's a big deal that makes her doubt whether Camilla is fit for the title. While many people look at Camilla's public service and see redemption, Anne feels that it strays from the strict integrity that royalty should stand for. To Anne, royal titles should come with a sense of duty and loyalty, values that she thinks Camilla's past has messed with. Looking at Camilla becoming queen consort, Anne feels it's a big sign that royal traditions are changing. And let's face it, this change makes her uneasy about where the monarchy is headed under Charles and Camilla's leadership. You might have noticed Anne's quiet demeanor at the coronation. It stood in stark contrast to how passionately she supported her mother's values. While many seem to accept Camilla's influence publicly, it shakes Anne's understanding of what a queen should be. For her, this isn't just about a title. It's a sign that the monarchy is straying too far from its core principles, which is a scary thought for Anne. Behind the palace walls, there's definitely been some tension between Anne and Camilla. They seem to be stuck in this complicated dance where Anne is all about tradition, while Camilla leans more towards modern values. Their relationship has grown more strained over the years, and Anne doesn't shy away from showing that. Known for being straightforward, she has no problem expressing her feelings, especially when it comes to people she views as a threat to the family's dignity. Anne keeps things civil with Camilla, but there's a serious lack of warmth between them. You'd think they were just acquaintances rather than family. While Anne stays polite in public, her body language often tells another story. It's said that her responses can be a bit sharp, showing how reluctant she truly is to connect with Camilla. There have even been whispers of confrontations, with Camilla trying to close the gap, only to be met with Anne's cool reactions that clearly hold her back from being close. This underlying tension really shapes their relationship and reflects the real struggles behind the palace's doors. Princess Anne's feelings about her family and Camilla create a bit of a divide in the royal family. On one side, there's Anne, who holds strong to royal traditions and values, and on the other, there's Camilla, who embodies a more modern approach to the monarchy. This clash isn't just personal, it reflects their different ideas about loyalty to the crown. For Camilla, winning Anne over hasn't been easy, as Anne's reluctance brings up all the old expectations that Camilla has pushed against in the past. This tension isn't just for show. It really shapes how the royal family interacts behind closed doors. Their coronation in 2023 was a huge milestone, representing how the monarchy is trying to keep up with today's world. But during the ceremony, it was clear that something was off, especially with Princess Anne. While Charles and Camilla were being crowned, Anne had a bit of a mixed reaction. It was almost like she was trying to keep her emotions in check, but you could tell something was bothering her. For Anne, watching this coronation felt bittersweet. It reminded her of all the changes happening in the monarchy and her struggle to accept Camilla as the queen consort. Deep down, Anne still feels that Camilla's past, with Charles during his marriage to Diana, makes the title a bit unfair, and it was hard for her to embrace that moment fully. Although Anne carried out her duties like a pro, you could see there was a certain distance in her interactions with Camilla. Her body language spoke volumes about what was really going on inside her head. While many may have viewed the coronation as a celebration of unity, Anne's behavior showed that she still harbors doubts. It was especially interesting to see her react in this way since she stood firmly by her mother, Queen Elizabeth, throughout her reign. While she's all for keeping the royal family going, she views Camilla's rise in status as a step away from the values Queen Elizabeth upheld. This contrast between what Anne feels she should support and what she personally believes created visible tension during the big event, revealing her mixed feelings about Camilla taking on this new role. Isn't it fascinating how behind all that royal glam, there are real emotions and thoughts playing out? There's been quite a shift in the monarchy, and it's hard to ignore the discomfort Princess Anne showed during the coronation. It's a subtle reminder that even as the royal family changes, some tensions stick around. You might wonder how that will play out in the years to come, especially since Anne's quiet resistance shows how much she values tradition, even while standing next to Camilla, who is now queen. So, how does this all affect what people think about Camilla? Well, Anne's cool attitude toward her has really shaped family dynamics and the public's view of Camilla. As one of the more respected royals, Anne holds a lot of influence, especially among folks who are loyal to the monarchy. Her hesitance to fully accept Camilla has sparked doubts among people who still question Camilla's role in this royal story. Speaking of loyalty, Anne stands firmly in the tradition that many royal supporters cherish. For those keeping Diana's memory alive, Anne's views act like a stamp of approval. To them, she represents the honor and integrity they believe should be part of the royal family. This makes her subtle resistance to Camilla all the more significant, deepening the divide between traditionalists and modern fans of the monarchy. Even though Anne has never outright criticized Camilla, her reserved attitude and lack of warmth speak volumes. By keeping her distance, she's become a quiet symbol for those who are skeptical about Camilla's place. This divide reflects the unspoken tensions within the family and shows how they struggle to blend the past with the present. In the end, the ongoing tension between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla reveals one of the most complicated relationships in the royal family. Their issues stem from different values, past betrayals, and deep loyalty. It's a conflict that doesn't seem to be going anywhere, especially when you think about Anne's emphasis on tradition, her family loyalty, and her respect for Diana's legacy. This rift between her and Camilla feels pretty unbridgeable, showing that while the world may see a united royal family, the reality is much more layered and complicated behind those palace walls. So what do you think? Can they ever really mend this divide? The dispute between Anne and Camilla goes beyond just a personal clash. It highlights a deeper difference in their views on the monarchy. For Anne, the monarchy is all about loyalty and sticking to traditional values. She thinks Camilla's past could tarnish those values. Even as King Charles continues his reign, the tension between Anne and Camilla simmers quietly but noticeably in the royal family. Their disagreement really shows how the monarchy struggles to find a way to balance traditional values with the modern world. This push and pull will likely affect the royal family's future for many years ahead. To Anne, Camilla represents a kind of betrayal that she feels has fractured the unity of the royal family. On the flip side, for Camilla, Anne's resistance is a constant reminder of the hurdles she still faces in her role. Isn't it interesting how personal relationships can reflect larger issues within a family, especially one as famous as the royal family? As we look further into this, it begs the question, how will this battle of ideals play out as the monarchy tries to evolve in today's world? What does it mean for their future?